Window above 10,000 feet could have caused damage and loss of cabin pressure. I'm Lisa Dwyer.
Residents of Havana are dealing with a growing garbage crisis. Piles of waste have been accumulating on nearly every street corner, worsened by, they say, the U.S. energy blockade that's causing power outages and a fuel crisis in the troubled nations. More on these stories at townhall.com.
From the WGCH Weather Center.
Mostly clear for tonight, low near 55. Tomorrow, mostly sunny, hot near 90. Tomorrow night, partly cloudy, 60 to 65. Mostly sunny Saturday, 90. More clouds, cooler, scattered rain showers, thunderstorms Sunday, 80 degrees. Monday, mostly sunny, cooler, low 70s, and mostly sunny, 75 to 80 Tuesday. More sun, 85 Wednesday. I'm meteorologist Bill Jackwoman on 1490 WGCH and WGCH.com anywhere.
Hi, this is Greenwich First Selectman Fred Camillo. Tune in on Friday mornings at 9 a.m. for the Ask the First Selectman show with yours truly and WGCH host Tony Savino. The phone lines will be open to hear and answer all your questions about our town. So join the conversation Friday mornings at 9 a.m. on 1490 WGCH and WGCH.com anywhere.
Hello again. My name is Steve Mayo. This is the Steve Mayo Show, and it's at AM 1490 WGCH or WGCH.com. As always, glad to be with you. We're here, myself and my co-host Jim Kaloran, and a special guest tonight. We are here Thursday and Friday from 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. And very excited to be with you as always. And please listen and call in with your comments if that's feasible for you. 203-661-5051. Comments, questions, kudos, anything that suits you. But because of the special nature of tonight's show, I'm going to ask Jim to introduce our special guest and get things rolling.
I am so honored. Great to be here with you, Steve, by the way, and Bob.
Wonderful.
And great to be on WGCH.com. I'm honored that I have the illustrious Tim Judge of Greenwich.com
GreenwichCT.US.
GreenwichCT.US.
Yep.
Formerly of New Rochelle, Steve.
I am quite aware.
Of a family of 9 kids.
11.
Great father, Francis. Great mother, who put up with all 9 of you and Francis.
Oh, yeah.
And she, I know we spoke about her.
Okay.
And Tim, and now you've been in Greenwich for your kids and famous in the sports world and amazing, right, Steve?
Fantastic story, and how you emigrated or pilgrimaged, pilgrimated, whatever the verb is, to Connecticut from the mighty city of New Rochelle, New York, where both Jim and I reside now.
Yes.
Interesting story unto itself, I'm sure, and just reflects the changing places and the changing picture of Metro New York. So please,
I guess it's migrated.
Migrated.
Yeah.
Migrating is
what's
good.
the word of the day?
Migrating is good.
Right.
Pilgrim, migrate. Thank you. But anyway, welcome on. Thank you.
Yes. Happy to be here. Thank you very much for having me. I still have one sibling left in New Rochelle, my sister Emily.
Emily, who
holding down the fort for all of us.
You know,
but most are in Westchester. So.
And she's been there how long?
Well, her whole life. Yeah. So she's been there forever.
Coach of the women's polo team, water polo team.
No. Emily.
She was at one point.
No.
And I thought she was there.
No.
Okay.
No.
Mind.
So please tell us. Tell me. I think for the interest of our audience, those who don't know you, and I'm sure you're known in the area, please tell us what you do and how you make your living and how you spend your volunteer time. I'm sure there's a lot of that too.
Sure. Well, I spent a lot of time in real estate, but I got bitten, and this is not my first time to GCS. I recognize Bob in the back there running the show forever, but I've been filming and doing video promotions for local businesses and people on the radio show. And when Jim called me, I was like, GCH, sure. I got all the equipment to plug right into the board. I'll be ready to go.
So you walked in, made it easy, and
that's great news.
He was one of the first on the curve of social media.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I remember him teaching me and talking about YouTube and live video and early
so
on.
what bit you in that? Is there something that just obviously your family have been in public service, I know.
Yeah.
And I hope we get into that. But is that what led you to this public, you might say?
Well,
presence?
forever. So in 1990, I got my real estate license, and then I collect cameras. So I have over almost 50 cameras, antique cameras. So I'm like the family photographer, and then of course we did a lot of video stuff as well. And in early days of my real estate career, whatever I could do to share videos of homes and help people remember where they've been was the idea behind that. And so I always loved taking pictures of houses and showing them off. So that's what got me started in that. And then of course I branched out to helping other people who I know have businesses set up their own profiles. Obviously, Google is owned by YouTube, so anything you put on YouTube is very much an advantage to rank on Google. Fantastic. And that helps out that way. That's good to know. All those things.
And I'm glad you mentioned real estate, because Jim and I have talked about this, and our audience here on WGCH AM 1490. Obviously, the Northeast real estate is to the Northeast like oil is to Texas. And you can think of the analogies, and it's so true. And I think it's no accident either that Jim makes his career, if I may say so, in bringing the love and the knowledge of real estate to the affordable class, you might say, Jim, the underprivileged, and the people needing of homes, right? Not just renting, ownership.
Everyone needs a decent roof over their head.
Yeah,
right.
Absolutely.
Who can argue that?
And what's better than owning it, right?
Right, and ownership. And so interest-free, no down payment. And we built 20,000 projects, the fullest center NY of Greater New York. So we can do Connecticut. We did the floods in Connecticut, as you saw the picture at Naugatuck here. And but that's the essence. And for our kids, unless you're in an upper bracket, kids are saying, well, I'm moving to Austin. I'm moving to I'm moving. Have you heard that from your kids at all? I'm moving out of state.
Not yet. I had not yet.
Why am I not surprised?
Just starting to get that. But the funniest story is that when my kids were young, we went to visit my sister-in-law down in Virginia, who has a place on the water.
Right.
And they said, why don't we have a place on the water? Why don't we have horses? And I said, sure, let's move out of Greenwich and come down here to Virginia. And they were like, no, we want a house with a dock in Greenwich. And it was like, I don't see that in our future.
Well, I can tell you, my dear children, 2 in the metro area, 1 lost to Seattle for now. But in any case, one of them is a resident of Williamsburg, Brooklyn. You would think that's the new Jerusalem or the new Rome. He's an independent-minded guy, but it just seems to be a habit in the metro area. Obviously, it hasn't applied to your family.
Yeah.
Fortunate as you are, or may be, but it's a nice idea that your family seems to hang out here.
Well, family is #1 word in the judge.
Yeah. Oh. We at the house I grew up in was populated. I didn't get my own room until I was 23. I was 23 before I got my own room, because there was 11 of us. So it took a while before enough people moved out where I got my own room. And yeah, family is very important to us. And so all 5 of my kids still live at home at this moment. The first one, so I put 5 through the Greenwich school system, and my 5th one is graduating this month.
Congrats.
And she's going off to college. She's the first one to be a resident of New Haven University. Everybody else was a commuter, right, to UConn and to Iona College.
That's smart. That's fortuitous, and also you might say economical, if I may suggest.
But she wasn't going to hang around to make it to 23 before she got her own room. So she's leaving. She's leaving now.
I just can't wait any longer, if I may. I'm a student of history.
Yeah.
Your name, Judge. I'm trained as an attorney, for what it's worth. Yeah. I'm a New York area Jewish guy, so obviously, like a lot of Irish, Italians, and Blacks and Spanish. Tell me, Judge, is that from the legal profession or judiciary or?
No, my grandfather told the story that his father got off the boat at Ellis Island, and when he said, "My name is O'Brachany," they said, "No, we can't write that down. You're Judge now," and they gave him the new name.
That's a good name.
That's the story he told. So I'm going to stick with it.
Was that over a few Guinnesses or no?
Start.
So here's the intergenerational judge and Mayo and Kaloran challenge. He had 11 kids. My mother, God rest her soul, had 9 brothers and sisters, and then my father 5. I've got 2 kids. Do our kids have children for the future? Is it going to be easy for them to live in the New York area? And I have another grandson on the way. They're in Teaneck, thank God. And but that's a challenge for future judges, future Mayos, future Kalorans, future Goodmans, Smalls, and family means so much to you guys and to you, Steve. You and I talk. You say I was with my look at my granddaughter.
Every culture prizes family, but a lot of cultures don't do anything about it.
Right.
Some do, and to Jim's credit, his cause, which I thoroughly support, is devoted to quality housing, ownership housing, and I would say the second part of your message, Jim, if I may represent you, is you are constantly decrying that a lot of our children do not or cannot afford to stay in this area.
Right.
Which is a shame.
One of the things that you moved here from New Rochelle is taxes.
Yes.
Tax and today it said Florida passed no property taxes.
Yeah, that's amazing.
That's not music to my ears. And we have started a revolution, right, Steve?
I think so.
On this show. The second American Revolution, that no property taxes.
Well, we're about number 5.
No, but we're the best one.
I think the stats are.
Didn't we leave England to get away from?
Well, taxation without representation.
Hello?
So
Absolutely.
I think we have to choose our representatives a little more wisely. If that's
I say
what you
judge
want.
for judge.
No, I'm
I
not.
think so. I think so. We have to pay attention. And one thing we spoke about before, Jim, Bob Small, our producer and engineer, and Tim. Excuse me, Tim. Forgive me. Is that a lot of people just aren't involved locally. I can't speak for Connecticut. I'm still a visitor, but I can tell you in New Rochelle and New York City and places I've lived throughout, people increasingly or decreasingly are involved in local government. They're distracted by the media. It's become a cliche. They're attached to their new televisions in their pockets, their phones, as are their kids. And people don't go to city council meetings. I got to tell you, when I started in New Rochelle, well nigh 4 decades ago, I was glued to the city council because that's what I invested in. I bought a home here with my wife. And we saw your great father, Fran Judge, and our great mayor, Lenny Paduano, and other great Democrats and Republicans. And people went to those meetings. And now they're told they can do it remotely.
Was my dad's.
Bob Schaefer?
Bob Schaefer was my dad's. He was a very good friend, but he butted heads with him all the time. My dad was a Republican, and he was.
There were 2 Bob Schaefers, but I know which one you're talking about.
Yeah, they came over and had long talks, but loved the engagement out of each other.
But people voted in such magnitude. I'm sure you know or knew Ron Tochi, a man of many years, and who we both converse with, all of us, and who we dearly love. And he says, elections, it used to be a religion in New Rochelle to vote, regardless of your party. You voted. And a city of then 70,000 or so people, 35,000 were voting in a major election. Nowadays, we passed last week. We passed a school budget of $370 million. I didn't pass it. With less than 3,000 people voting.
Yeah, that was always amazing to me. I found that funny that so few people voted down there. Even when my dad was scrounging for votes. He had 11 kids, so he thought he was ahead of the game. And one year he was like, "Hey, why didn't you vote?" And I'm like, "What do you mean? Of course I voted." He goes, "No, you didn't. I'm looking at the rolls, and you didn't sign in." And I was like, "I got it again."
So anyway, we're talking to Tim Judge on the Steve Mayo Show. Jim Kaloran, thank you for Facebook Live viewers, and also if people want to, how do they access?
Right now. It's on Greenwich Local on YouTube.
Greenwich Local on YouTube. One. Yeah, but that's going across the whole. I mean, it's going viral. Talk about this, Greenwich
Local. So a little bit about that. I used to do. I'll shorten it, but I used to put Debbie Nigro's show on there, and Jennifer Graziano, and now I have another friend who's here in town, a yoga instructor who's been on with me a couple times, Jennifer O'Connor. And for Alon Elite, But I launched GreenwichCT.us, and that is a
When did you
local
launch it?
directory. That was less than 2 months ago.
Oh, wow.
And so I've uploaded about 200 businesses on there. It has Google reviews on there. The businesses themselves can upgrade and add stuff. And the part I'm going to be utilizing is a lot of AI assistance. So you can go on there and ask the AI about the business.
Will they have
and
a
it's gonna,
picture of you or someone that you say?
No,
Tim
it's going to be a
Judge, but
chat.
looks like-
It's going to be a chat, but it's going to be able to research the full website and everything else about the business, whatever those businesses
wow.
want to get out to the public.
I'm a new
is gonna
small
be able to
business.
do that.
Do I contribute to you for that, or you get advertisement to run it?
They can upgrade their listing. So you get a free listing. You just sign up and register, and you
Free
can get a
list?
free listing, which
Oh.
means you'll get your name, address, and phone number on
Right.
there, and website link. But then if you upgrade, which is I think it's $2.99 for the year, you can then link up all your socials.
Wow.
You can I'll do a video like this with you, and
Steve
there's a
and
lot of
Jim show,
upgrades for that.
Could
That's
we
right.
get on there?
Yeah, absolutely.
We have to discuss that further because, Jim and I have talked extensively about promoting the show
Sure.
through various media. And I like the sound of what you're expressing,
Yeah.
that it's a one-stop place for people like Jim and myself
Right.
who are extremely intelligent and overeducated. We have no idea what you're talking about.
Speak for yourself.
Sorry?
But
I can't spell MIT.
The great part is that the GreenwichCT.us is obviously local for this station. We broadcast farther than that, but I also do have from actually the Bronx all the way up to Bridgeport.
The Bronx
They're-
to Bridgeport. It
they're-
sounds like a Broadway song.
Yeah.
Sounds wonderful.
Again, it's going to be done by Chaz Palminteri. He's going to be doing that one.
Actually,
that
Saturday
right?
at the American Legion, I'll give him a shout out. The Sopranos comedian Vinny Astori is
course.
going to be doing a benefit to raise money for the.
That's wonderful.
Shout out to Ron and
In New
Dennis
Rochelle.
Starr. Yeah, we put up the flag yesterday for him.
That's
And
great.
you've been to the Legion, right? Remember that?
Yeah. Yep.
So we're
That's
talking to Tim Judge on the Steve Mayo Show with his sidekick Jim.
And other communities, you were telling us before, just for the sake of our audience, how do they find
Yes.
your local representation?
Well, there'll be links all through the GreenwichCT site, and so it's any town. Basically, I have 20 different towns so far.
Wow.
So it's PelhamNY.us, New Rochelle NY.us,
Wow.
and of
I'm
course
getting on.
GreenwichCT.us. So it's about us is the tagline.
Sure.
And
Oh,
so
you
if
know.
you substitute your town name and of course the state and then .us, you'll be able to find it. It's going to be a network right now of about 20. And I'm open to grow that with other local businesses and communities that want to get together and put their stuff together. But it's going to be, it's using cutting edge AI and
Wow.
everything to bring in all the best information.
Steve, I say
and then
this
be
is
able to help
profound
people.
for the Steve and
Phenomenal.
Jim Show,
Yes.
Steve Mayo Show. What do you think?
I want to tell you
I
this.
will help with that.
I have joined the local Chamber of Commerce in
Mm-hmm.
the Bronx. They're great people, but the idea that this might be a one-stop for people like us looking to go
Yep.
beyond one county or town. So very excited.
Right. It's a way to bring the whole network together because you'll be able to, go not just that town. Of course, if you do business in Greenwich, you might want to attract people from Rye or Stamford, Portchester. So you'll be able to connect yourself up.
Now, do you
to
have a
couple different
website
ways.
yourself, timjudge.com?
I do own timjudge.com, but it's not up there.
Okay.
The
I
housing
may
for
have
this
to
whole
put my
thing is,
name on that and pretend I'm Tim Judge. So,
but the locals join us. Locals join.us is the hub for all the
LocalsJoin.us is how you can get it. We're talking to Tim Judge, who was in the social media game long before many people
Yes.
were.
And I have to go to the old cliche, right? The shoemaker who makes shoes for the community doesn't make them for no way meant to impugn your family. For his kids, you have not made a website for yourself yet. Credit, right?
Yep.
To your credit, you know what's important.
Yeah.
Here's a question for your graduating student. We have been talking about this. AI,
Yeah.
that's an interesting,
Right. Well, it's a tool, and,
It's a
and
tool.
people shouldn't
be scared of it?
be scared of it. But
Well,
it also
sometimes, maybe
you
sometimes.
you can't rely on it for everything. It's only as good a tool. A hammer or saw is only as good as the carpenter that's using it. And it's the same thing with AI. You can't just spit out one question, expect to have a novel return, which is exactly accurate. It's a training model. So you're training it on how to answer what kind of information you want. What really the prompt, as they say, is you want to tell it exactly how to act when they go out to find the information
you tell
want.
AI how to respond for the towns in U.S.
So right, when I set this up, when I set up the AI feature on a listing for a business, I'm going to train that AI in how to answer the questions that the customers are doing it. And so I'll be double checking the AI to make sure that it researches the right websites and gathers the information that people are going to be looking for.
I think
and
you
if it
should be
can't get
giving
that,
a
then
talk at the
then
Greenwich Library on how anyone should train AI.
yeah, well, there's
Steve,
a
what
lot
say
goes
you?
around, but yeah,
that's getting ahead of the curve.
That's
I
ahead
will
of the
say,
curve for
you're
all.
training AI. I like to hear that. All I can tell you is I've heard a succession of commencement speakers on the
Sure.
TV. The rare time I watch TV anymore, telling the students, as soon as the word AI, the expression AI comes up, they start booing.
Right.
The speaker, I think a few speakers said how great AI was. I think those guys have left town. And now that they're saying, but the kids want to hear, oh, AI is horrible. I'm not sure you can judge it. How can you judge technology? But I do think if there's any way for humans to master AI, as you have discussed, is the right way to do it. And I think maybe we have to ask the right people, the people who seem to have gotten ahead of our business.
Yeah.
Who would that be? Jeff Bezos, perhaps? Elon Musk?
Well,
These are smart people.
Al Gore said he invented the internet,
Well, I would
but
ask
it really
him to.
was the military.
Just
Who
to be
invented
fair,
AI?
what do you think of that idea? Is there any way to manage AI? Is it going to get ahead of us like some sort of Twilight Zone episode? Or?
Well, honestly, no one has more AI information than Elon, because each one of those Teslas is an AI. Like, he wants those to drive autonomously. So he's gathering information on people's driving habits.
Oh boy,
and then,
not mine, I hope.
And then, well, you have a Tesla? You drive
No,
a
just
Tesla?
the way I drive.
Oh, well, I'm sure those other Teslas are
Steve will
spying
tell
on
you.
you. But he
drives
takes that
fine.
information
Sure.
and then plugs it into the algorithms, and now those cars are getting better and better at driving because he's training those AI in the cars to do what they needs to be done. And it's the same thing.
Are there
with
driverless
the other.
cars in Greenwich?
I think.
Bob, have you seen them?
In Greenwich, no, but I think he just launched a taxi fleet out in California or Austin. I don't know where, but
Really?
yeah, a fully driverless taxi fleet just went out.
He's going to have to catch up with Waymo because they've got more cars in more cities than anybody else at this point.
Yeah. So, and that's the training. That's it's all in the level of gathering that information and then be able to put it back to work.
Of course, I just would be my kids seem to have understood it because they're way ahead of me. I got a kid who works for Microsoft, and the kid who's a banker, and another kid who's engineer. They seem to have mastered this new world.
Yeah.
But it still is scary to them because I know there are layoffs coming at a lot of these companies, even the highest regarded ones.
So
I'll tell you the other side of that is that I was actually at Exit 5 getting my oil changed last weekend, and
what's at Exit 5, Stamford?
the old Greenwich service station.
Oh, Greenwich, okay.
So I'm there getting my oil changed, and in the next lane is the state inspections, and the lady gets out of her car and she says, he goes, it's $20 cash. He goes, she goes, I don't have cash. ChatGPT told me you take cash. So she's doing a Google search, not a Google search, but she searched ChatGPT and it mistakenly said, oh, they'll take cash, which they don't.
Oh,
and then she was
get that
like,
backwards. You mean they won't take anything but cash?
Correct.
Yeah.
They only take cash,
Right.
and she had her card ready to go.
Gotcha.
So
you know how many coffee bars I've held up, right? The only person there over the age of 30.
Yeah.
I'm looking for my cash, and the kids have their cards out.
Right. They just
I want
tap
to
and
just jump
go.
out the
Well,
window.
let's stay on this.
Right.
Okay, so I go to ChatGPT and it says, you go to this hospital and you have to something very important, and it gives me the wrong information.
Yeah. They call it hallucinations.
AI hallucination.
Well, it hallucinates the answer, right? It makes up the fact that, we'll take cash, we don't take cash. It just makes up the answer. And this woman came in and said, I need my car inspected, and they were like, well, we can only do it for cash. And she was like, I don't have any cash.
Can somebody sue ChatGPT,
No,
whoever it is?
It's
I'm suing ChatGPT today.
Well, you
luck.
have to
Good luck.
hallucinate a lawyer first,
Yeah,
right?
Right.
God forbid.
Well, we got a
Now-
good lawyer here. in
that would be
Steve
you.
Mayo.
That would be you hallucinating right now.
Well, it wouldn't be the first time. We're here with the Steve Mayo
That's
show.
why he's trying to go to the hospital.
I know it. That's right. Bob, Tim Judge of Greenwich, formerly New Rochelle.
Right.
A great honor. Give one great comment about your father or your mother, if you could.
Oh, well, my dad was larger than life, and he loved New Rochelle and that whole entire community, and just he was there forever. And
What was his career?
he was an
Doctor?
orthodontist.
Yeah.
Yeah, so straightened so many teeth it was ridiculous.
Wow. Even Irish teeth? That's
yeah.
not easy.
Yeah, plenty of Irish teeth. He did mine twice.
Wow.
So you know, he just he loved the community, and he loved young people in sports. He coached all of us in the Empire State Games for water polo, and then of course the biggest fan of all the kids who played for Fordham and Iona was the bulk of where everybody went. So we had a local presence on those two teams.
That's a
Now,
great
your
tradition.
mother,
Let me
one
just
thing
tell you,
have to-
I went to DePaul University Law School in Chicago,
Oh,
another fine Catholic institution,
yes.
not Jesuit, Vincentian.
Yeah.
Yeah, to
I didn't know that.
non-Jesuits for once
Anyway,
in the
a
last
great
10
institution,
years.
great sports teams for a time, not so much lately. Ray Meyer, you may have heard that name.
Yeah.
Great coach.
Great coach.
And I just have to tell you, the tradition of education in the Catholic private education system, whoever's running it locally, is so impressive. I got to tell you, as a public school kid from New York, it was such a great welcome. Getting it at an out-of-state Catholic institution, it just made my head spin, seeing how good you could get education. Yes, from so far away to 800 or so miles. So great tradition. Your family obviously
Yeah.
upheld.
Steve also went to Syracuse. Did you go to Iona?
I went to Iona. Yeah, well, I was gently pushed there because my mom didn't want anybody to go away. What my brother Greg wanted to be an accountant. Iona's big accounting school.
Sure.
And once he went there and started the water polo team, he really started it as a club and then made
Greg
it.
started that?
Greg started it as a club and then
Shout out
took
to
it
Greg.
to nationally ranked program. And then so everybody after that, it was like, go walk, because we could walk to Iona. So my mom was like, that's it, you're going there.
Well, I
And I
have
went
to tell
there.
you, Tim, if I may interject, it seems your family, with your story of New Rochelle,
Yeah.
and Greenwich and beyond, is the story of community. We try to talk about here on the Steve Mayo Show
Right.
with Steve and Jim. We talk about it because I think that is the reason we are America, why we're independent, why this year is so important,
Yeah.
and how
Yeah.
we celebrate locality. And you seem to define it. So this has been a great discussion. Let's keep going. We have a break coming up, Jim.
We'll be back with Tim Judge, Steve Mayo, Bob, and Jim, and coming right back. And it's all about community.
From the WGCH Weather Center.
Mostly clear for tonight, low in the mid-50s. Mostly sunny, hot tomorrow, high near 90. Then partly cloudy tomorrow night, low 60s. Saturday, mostly sunny, 90, and more clouds. Sunday, cooler, scattered rain showers, some thunderstorms, 80. Mostly sunny, cooler, low 70s on Monday. And Tuesday's outlook, mostly sunny, 75 to near 80. Today, information's instant. Get your blood sugar level instantly as well with continuous glucose monitoring. Knowing a change in your blood sugar is crucial for you if you're diabetic. Call US Med for information on this important glucose monitoring system. Call 888-665-0684. I'm meteorologist Bill Jackwoman on 1490 WGCH and WGCH.com anyway.
When you're vacationing in your RV, there are some things you can always count on. Laying out on a hammock, waking up to birds chirping, and board games with the family.
What? It's not cheating.
Frank, you're scaring the kids.
Oh, come on, guys. We're having fun. It's family time.
With Progressive, your RV is protected 24/7, so you're prepared for whatever you don't see coming.
Technically, it's a loophole.
It's a children's board game. You're a grown man, Frank.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in D.C.
My doctor told me my cholesterol is borderline, so I took control with Garlic Healthy Cholesterol Formula. Garlic helps maintain healthy cholesterol safely and naturally. It's odor and taste-free, and Garlic is a world leader in garlic potency. I'm taking charge of my cholesterol with Garlic Healthy Cholesterol Formula, cholesterol's natural enemy.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. The term natural references only the garlic in the product. Use as directed.
Happy birthday to us. 2 surprises for you. 2 surprises from NordVPN. 2 surprises for you.
Celebrate twice as much with NordVPN. We have a special birthday deal. Get 72% off and a coupon for up to 1 year free. NordVPN is rated as excellent on PC Mag. Visit NordVPN.com and discover one of the most advanced VPNs in the world. What are the benefits? Secure up to 10 devices with a single account. Receive alerts if your email address leaks to the dark web. Reduce the risk of phishing, scams, and malware with NordVPN's Threat Protection Pro tool. Encrypt your online traffic and browse with more peace of mind. Get the special birthday deal at NordVPN.com. Additional terms apply. NordVPN, cybersecurity built for every day.
Veterans and active duty service members, when your call to service ends, your mission doesn't have to. Go from GI to IT in just a few months at My Computer Career. Prepare for a high-demand career in cybersecurity, protecting people, systems, and institutions from real cyber threats. Cyber warriors are needed now. Will you answer the call? Go to mycomputercareer.edu/CWP to learn more. That's mycomputercareer.edu/CWP, an Elite CompTIA certification partner. VA education benefits are available to those who qualify.
We are here on the Steve Mayo Show. Hi, Steve.
Hey, great to be here.
And we are here with Bob, the great producer excellence, and Tim Judge of Greenwich, formerly New Rochelle, introducing this unique concept gone to 20 towns called GreenwichCT.us.
GreenwichCT.us.
GreenwichCT.us. So
Great concept to me. And I got to tell you, Jim, Tim, and Bob, and your audience of WGCH AM 1490, I'm very intrigued about the obviously the community emphasized by your business. But I have to ask you a sensitive question, but I'm sure you've been asked it. What led you or drew you to Greenwich from New Rochelle or anything in between?
Well, my first experience in Greenwich was I was working at the Elm Street Oyster House. And that was a new restaurant that opened up in '94. And I was a bartender there for years. And I had just a great experience. And then, of course, exploring the town more. Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, wow.
And still owned by the same guys. Great food. If you go there, have the pan-fried oysters and the
Elm Street
tuna.
Oyster House.
It is amazing.
Can I find that on GreenwichConnecticut.us?
It is one of the featured listings, of
I
course.
am sure it would be.
I hit my friends up first.
Well, I could tell you something very brief and very funny. My dear son in Seattle, I talk to all my kids, but the one in Seattle is news because I don't see him most weeks. I can only tell you that he loves Northwest. It's a beautiful area.
Oysters out there.
Fantastic, great oysters and great salmon and great community, though I don't think their politics suits me. That's another story. All I can tell you is, so when are you thinking of moving back, Matt? And he says, well, I looked up on the web. They have some oyster farms in Maine or in...
My professor, a kid who went to Pelham High School, Dr. Green at St. Joseph's College in Maine, is growing oysters on an island.
Really? Well, that may draw my Northwestern kid back.
I'll connect him to the doctor.
The shellfish industry of New York, very interesting. And I grew up on shellfish out of Long Beach, New York.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Well, amazing that, and you have 2 great sons. You have 5 kids. Now you came in touting, as any father does, the accomplishments.
Yeah.
But this one graduating right now from Greenwich High School.
Yeah. She's a phenom, and I can't say enough good things about it. But congratulations! I would really like to congratulate. I was most nervous about moving to Greenwich and having such a big high school, and I really was concerned that there was 800, 900 kids there, and my guys. I would go to the Y, and the kids sitting there in the Y, and I'm like, "Hey, what do you do?" And he goes, "Oh, I play a club baseball. I can't make the team or whatever." And I was nervous. My daughter, skip forward to my 5th one graduating, she played 4 years of Greenwich football with the boys after doing the youth program. So she played 12 years of boys football.
Greenwich
Then
football.
Then she played on the girls basketball team.
Now, if I'm a father, I'm not
And
sure
then-
that would be the first thing I'd want my daughter to do.
I know, but I wasn't going to
She did
stop
it,
her.
yeah.
And she wanted it badly, and she stuck with it to the end. And then this year, she also played on the rugby team. All 3 teams won the state championships.
Phenomenal.
She has 3 state championships
Oh
under
my
her belt
God.
for
How
this
good
year.
is that?
I want you to
And,
cause a revolution.
It's
I
amazing.
think it's Thursday or Friday nights in New Rochelle at the much abused City Park of New Rochelle. You know that institution very
Sure.
well. Public park that most kids.
Did you play there growing up?
Of course.
Most children in New Rochelle played there at some point. Soccer, baseball, softball, cricket, even today. The city fathers and mothers unfortunately tried to sell it to a developer.
Yeah.
Am I correct, Jim?
And we did a Fran Judge.
And
we all went nuts. on
we
it.
turned out. All I can tell you is on Thursday and Friday nights there is flag football, and it's a great sport. I'm not
Yeah,
familiar
that's a
with.
big sport. No, that I played in college.
Did you really?
Now they're competitive flag football teams.
These
everywhere.
these are mixed
You know that,
teams.
Buck? Yeah.
These are mixed teams. Tim,
Yeah,
I'd
grab
like you
the
to go
flag.
there one night.
What's that, Buck?
I'd like you to go there one night and
Co-ed?
tell
Oh,
your
wow.
daughter to talk about mixed tackle football.
Yeah.
The people in Neuro think they're such revolutionaries. Wait till they hear about your daughter playing on the boys football team. I think it's a great story.
You know, she did start in whatever it was, 3rd or 4th grade, and played with all those guys. So there was 5 teams around town. She played with and against them her whole life. And so when she got to the high school, she knew and had played against
With all those
guys. So they were friends with her. They knew her commitment. They you know, she did well and got well taken care of. They were happy to have her on the team.
I've
and
got to see
she
her
felt
throw a
very
football. Obviously,
So-
she knows how to throw a football.
She does all right. She ran the running plays and she ran it in sophomore year. She was quarterback and got to touchdown. So
Yeah.
she does
well,
it all.
Well, here we're talking to Tim Judge, Steve Mayo show. The Judge is famous in the Rochelle. Was it Parkcott you lived on? No.
Yeah, Parkcott Avenue.
I remember you down there, and I love your family, and I'm honored you've supported the Fuller Center and building, and
That's
you've
great.
got your father had 11 kids. You know, to hear the story of family is so important. And
Yeah.
Steve, we talk about that in community, and Greenwich, and Bob always talks about Sam Raimi. What a great community Greenwich is.
Yeah.
And will it stay a great community?
Oh, I believe so. I mean, I think it's got very strong roots and traditions. I think that it's gonna, it's just a beautiful, beautiful place to be, and it's not.
It's amazing.
It's very well respected. There's a lot of people who have a lot of pride and respect for the town of
No
Greenwich, and they're very passionate about it. You know, and there's a lot of people that take, let's call it both sides,
Right.
but there's a lot of people that feel passionately about Greenwich, and I think that you know, its future is bright.
I got to
So,
tell you,
and not worry
and I
about
think
that.
following on Jim's point, and I think where you're leading us, you know, there are advocates for New Rochelle, myself and Jim
Yeah.
included, many of us, but not to disagree with you, we've lost some of that pride, I would say, because we say, as the historical precedent goes, we sell our birthright cheaply. We don't maintain and invest in what we have. Jim, you can
Yeah,
confirm
you know,
this.
yeah.
And on Main Street, we have strangers coming in, driving their cars with untuned mufflers. There's less law enforcement, and you know what's happened to our sense of community. And I think we got to get it back without making us discriminate or anything else. And Jim will be talking on this, I'm sure, in a second. We have to uphold our zoning and planning rules that I know Greenwich and many other great communities in New York and Connecticut do defend. And
Yeah.
you got to uphold them.
Yeah, well, those things get challenged here as well, and it does take a community effort to keep those in line and make sure that all those things are done properly and
Right.
everything gets weighed out properly.
Well, you know, if you look at New Rochelle high rises stopped, if you Google it or AI it or whatever you want to do, New Rochelle high rises stopped. We have found that the high rise is being stuffed into the historic New
Yeah,
Rochelle
yeah.
downtown, and I hope that never comes to Greenwich.
Well,
Because-
it's nice for you to say, but I'm afraid it is already happening. So.
Really?
Oh yeah, there's a 6-story building going up right in the center of town now.
6-story?
Yeah.
We would march in support of a 6-story building in New Rochelle.
I don't know.
I'm not
Well,
quite-
it starts with
I'm
6,
just
and
telling
then the
relative
next guy
terms.
wants 8, and then
60.
after that, you know, I
Was there a pushback on that?
yeah.
Oh yeah.
There
The
was
state told
pushback.
us we're not in charge anymore.
Right.
Basically.
So
And the-
what does that mean for the word community, Mayo?
We had a lot of outrage also because I'm in Byram, and Worcester is developing
Worcester's
at
going
a
nuts
rate
right
like
now.
that as well. And right over the border, there was a big building that went up, and a lot of people in Byram were like, "Well, we're going to close the Byram Bridge." And I was like, I think that's a little
I like
aggressive.
that revolutionary
They
offer.
wanted to close the bridge
I
or
like
put up
that.
a toll booth, and I was like, I think we're getting a little ahead of ourselves.
I
but
like your
but
community.
the
I like that,
passion
Steve.
the passion is there.
We're
That
there.
you
We'll
know
help
you
collect
want
those.
responsible development, and that track that comes over the bridge and over to 95 has to be managed. So you know those things have to be addressed. But you know
Well-
you can't do anything about over the border. in
I can tell you
Worcester.
though,
That's tough one.
you're right, and that's fully correct. But I will tell you, as we've learned in New Rochelle, citizen involvement, there's no substitute for it. We have to go to meetings. And one thing we've learned in New Rochelle, which you may see coming to Greenwich, I hope you do not, or anywhere in the country, is they call this in law in the Supreme Court over-delegation, where the city council or an elected body over-delegates its responsibilities to an appointed planning board or a zoning board, which goes and
That's
does
why they
things.
don't have any responsibility.
That's right, and
they
which the city
pretend that
council
they
and
don't
which,
have that.
and which the council or town board might not have the nerve, and I hope they don't have the nerve to do themselves. They will delegate to an appointed board
Sure.
because people generally don't know who appointed them.
And then the IDAs, which is another scam.
Another one.
Pilots for the people. We're here on a show that is starting the third revolution. We may have a toll bridge by the end of next week. Steve and I at Byram into Greenwich.
A do-it-yourself toll
to
booth. What a
raise-
great idea.
but-
I think that a town did affect New Rochelle. I think Larchmont squashed that IKEA that was going to go over
Right.
there by City Field.
by City Park.
Yeah, and I think it was Larchmont that sent a lot of pressure over
The
the
only
border
thing about
there.
that is the traffic with the kids that are over there at City Park too.
Right.
That was part of it. So
That was going to be
you-
IKEA,
you
right?
could- you could go both ways.
But they went and bought up the whole land and said IKEA's coming. But I think it was Larchmont that put the
No
hammer
question.
down
You're
and
right.
said,
And Tim. Yeah. Timmy was behind it too. Anyway, whatever, we are here. We want you 203-661-5051. Steve Mayo, politically involved, always, we've got a great voice. Tim Judge, longtime family in politics, and their 11 kids that grew up with and now in the great town of Greenwich. And you have introduced this again, GreenwichConnecticut.us.
Yeah.
And it's coming from Bronx to Bridgeport, and not-for-profits can sign in. We can. And how's it sound to you, Bob? You're objective. We're just touting praises and throwing flowers. What say you?
My first thought was radio, which is what we're doing right now.
Right.
And so my mind is on wondering to myself, why are you bringing us all around into a overview of
medium?
what's going on? Did you get a high sign from Steve that I didn't see? I was wondering why we were doing that.
No. I want your opinion. Multiple media can increase each other's efficacy.
Yeah,
absolutely.
So for here, I use LinkedIn or Twitter or Facebook or on
Facebook
Facebook
regularly.
Live. And Deborah Fagazi, who's an amazing person, listening right now. But one doesn't have to replace the other.
No.
Right?
Right. And
So maybe you'll put WGCH up there,
well, absolutely.
right? Because this is a great station. We love radio.
Yeah, absolutely.
And if
It's legendary
if
here
your
in town.
internet goes out,
Yeah.
the radio's still here. And that's what I grew up with,
Indeed.
and I love it. But also, in this world of who knows what can happen.
And I believe in it fully. I have to tell you, growing up, before you guys, Bill Mazer on sports,
Bill
Howard
Mazer.
Cosell, the greats, and also Bob Grant, at WABC, forgive me.
Paul Harvey.
Paul Harvey,
I don't know
great
if Tim
opinion
knows any of
makers.
these guys.
And it was great. It was great growing up with
Bill
AM.
O'Shaughnessy.
Bill O'Shaughnessy. AM radio was in my lifeblood. I know when the hippie movement came on, FM became strong. That's great. Enjoyed a lot of music. but there was no replacement for AM, and I still don't think there is. It's free. There's no subscription. Carried in your car, your backyard, at work, at home.
Well, I think the car is a big
Well, Bob,
thing.
you guys have you're streaming through your website and everything. Do you have a Spotify channel? I should know this, but
Spotify, no.
But I mean, putting it on.
What would that do for them?
Well, you were saying using all
Yeah.
avenues to get it
Yeah,
out
yeah,
there.
yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
for the Spotify generation that's coming up, they have to find. I mean, I don't even. Cars now they come with Apple Play, but do they come with an AM station? We have to be able to spread this word out
This
there
is
through.
an issue that's been discussed for decades.
Yeah,
I know
So-
Bob's side. I know where he stands.
So it's just another way to push out the radio station. Get in front of them where they can find the website and then stream through the website and then find a way to listen to it on their AM dial.
Amazing. WGCH.com, Steve Mayo Show with Tim Judge of Greenwich and family everywhere. Please send out my love to all your family.
Absolutely.
And AM 1490, let's not forget, let's remember that basis, that broadcast basis. I have one question I have to ask you.
Sure.
I was thinking of it before the show because it applies to me personally, one of my favorite subjects. I've always been interested in politics.
Mm-hmm.
My dad also had never thought of, dreamt of, or wanted to be in public office.
Right.
So as I worked with him in business for many years.
Manufacturing.
And I told him manufacturing in the Bronx, great tradition. I hope it comes back. Good luck to President Trump. It's a tough call, but I think it's a worthy cause. I will tell you though, I recall a conversation with my dear father, and I asked him, Dad, I'm thinking of politics. Do you really want me to be in public office? He says, I couldn't care less. He says, you have to be happy. That's my job.
Yeah.
Me
Well,
and
that
your
was
mother.
nice. Right.
That's what we care about. If you want to be in it, be it. In any field you want. But that's what makes me happy, you being happy. I have to ask you,
right?
Did you ask your dad? Was that in the air when he was such a successful politician?
Did any
Did that
of you
affect you?
None of my siblings have gone into politics, but we do support a lot of people that deserve it, and it was his involvement gave us the inspiration and reason to get involved in whatever level you want. I've been involved a little bit on the fringe. I helped out with the fireworks in the 90s.
Oh, wow.
When something that comes up
Sure.
that you're passionate about, and Nershell was going to stop doing the fireworks on the 4th of July. I said, no, we have to have the fireworks, and I put my foot down and I paid for the fireworks.
Oh, wow. Amazing.
I raised the money. I didn't
That's
come out of
beautiful.
pocket.
Still.
But when something, and it's just like families and people that are passionate about development and everything like that, when something's hitting close to home, you have to get involved and you have to step up and find a way to make it work. Whether you're the frontline guy or gal, but you at least have to get involved.
To me, that's
state
public
your-
service,
state-
right?
Yeah,
Serving
exactly.
your community.
And
'Cause
voter
it comes back.
registration
Yeah.
for your kids, for my kids,
Yeah.
everywhere. The importance of voting, I think, and I don't know if it's taught at the high school here.
Yeah.
I hope it is. The importance of civics. In some places it's not, but the importance of next generation. I have seen young kids run for office. I was with a young Syracuse kid yesterday, Steve, who went to Greenwich Country Day, and she is working as a fellow for the new person running for comptroller.
That's wonderful.
And so it was interesting to see that she's going in. Another kid is from Iona, is probably going to win the state, right out of Iona, the state representative office in Massachusetts, who was, he had me last year talk to a state rep who won. So getting involved, no matter what age,
Yeah.
knowing the issues, voting, whatever you believe in, that's what this station represents. That's what everything,
Yeah.
Fran Judge and the judges and the Mayos and the Clorens and the Bob Smalls, and the freedom for us to come together in real community and keep going together. What say you?
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I told my kids, I'm not gonna. I've been in plenty of pictures with Fred Camillo. I like Fred. I think he does a great job, and I can approach Fred and talk about what I want to talk about. And when my kids are coming up of age and everything, I was like, hey, I want you to get registered. I didn't tell them what party to register for, But I said, get registered, and I want you to vote for my friend Fred. And they said, why? What do I? And I said, because I said so, because he's my friend, and I like him, and I want you to support him. If you want to discuss it, but you need to get involved and find out who's running your town, or who's running the state, or who's running the presidency. And because, as a young kid, they're like, what does it matter? What's my vote mean anything? We were talking about
It does vote.
3,000 people deciding elections down in Nurshell and whatever. And here, it doesn't seem much better. It's important to state your case. And of course, if you're not going to do it, then you can't, I won't listen to your opinion about it. If you're not going to put your 2 cents on the line, then what you think about who's crazy or who's not doesn't matter to me, because your vote's not going to matter because
Is voting increasing in Greenwich?
I see that.
I don't know.
Is voting increasing in Greenwich? That's our homework for next week. Maybe Sam Romeo, you might know Sam.
Yeah.
A voice right after us. Great job with a number of things. Get out and vote. Register to vote. Everything about this, what this American Revolution represents is everything about what all of us represent here is to take that right to vote. And if you have to start a toll at a bridge from Byram to Dorchester,
you'll
why
have our
not?
help. And Jim has a volunteer team at the ready to help us construct toll booths.
From here to Hollis
and
Green
gates
right now, and to Millwood tomorrow.
The
and
theology of the hammer, right?
Theology of the hammer. And if Connecticut, anyone listening, a senior needs help here,
We're just kidding, of
we
course.
will
We're-
do that.
We're not proposing an insurrection. No such thing.
Oh, I disagree with that.
Okay.
We need to break through party politics, get back to basics of people,
of course,
listening and having their own
Volunteerism.
independent thinking. And once you have that, doesn't mean don't put yourself in a party, but once you have that, and then our kids, they see the social media has affected what they've
course.
seen all over the world.
Yes.
And how they vote probably too.
Absolutely.
It's a wonderful
or
phenomenon.
don't want to bother voting.
Yeah, and
it's
isn't
tough.
that an interesting point that social media has come to replace voting, local activism. I don't care what party you're in or what left or right. Isn't that so? If you post, that's enough. It's not enough. Your posting on a site is a nice expression if you've never done it, and keep doing it. Hope you influence people, but it's not equivalent to voting. You have to vote, and being an influencer, you've heard of that. An influencer? I think it's more important that you get people to vote a certain way.
Well, influencers, I met one at the gym, at the physical therapy place. By the way, I think the three of us should start the first baby boomers flash mob. So everyone go, and Bob is shaking his head. We're on the Steve Mayo Show, just Jim Cloran with Tim Judge, WGCH.com.
And tell them about tomorrow night.
Tomorrow night we'll be on from 5 to 6. But if people want to hit Greenwich US,
GreenwichCT.us.
GreenwichCT.us, coming to a town near you. It's already on there, and it's growing. But also, you got to listen tomorrow night, WGCH.com, 1490 a.m., Steve Mayo Show. Just honored to be here and get involved. I'll leave here, and I'll have 10 high schools meet with me that have been volunteering for 30 years, and Greenwich was one of them, Greenwich Country Day. And I plant the seed to the youth that you got to get involved, you got to swing a hammer, and they all go out and do it. And that's a big.
And what I love about your program, Jim, is that it's local. I mean, it's all very nice to contribute to a website somewhere in Tuscaloosa, God bless Tuscaloosa, but that you're local first and foremost,
right?
Wherever you may be. That's to your credit, and I think it helps improve our community.
Do your kids graduating, some do fear AI?
Do they fear it? No.
Taking away jobs?
No, we've talked about that at the dinner table. And that was pretty much my answer was, they have to embrace it and train it and use it as the tool that it is. I don't think that they'll be threatened by AI. They'll be
Now,
using
if
it.
one of your kids said, I want to be a carpenter, Dad, is that all right? Or electrician?
No, I would love that if they were working with their hands and being in the trades.
Real too.
Oh yeah.
Let's bring back both.
That's my first conversation when I'm at retail, to the point of boredom. What's your trade, young lady, young man? Two almost with no exception, smart kids, usually immigrant, community college, if that, or they're in a trade, they're in union training program, and I say power to them.
Yeah.
Let it take you where you want. Great being with you. Thank you Tim Judge, great being with you. Jim Kaloran, always thank you.
Thank
Bob
you.
Small,
Tim, love
Yes.
AM 1490 WGCH. Audience, please be with me and Jim Kaloran tomorrow night on the Mayo Show at 5 to 6 p.m. at 1490.
Break it on.